Yay!
Woo!
Dang it! You said we were gonna
Yay!
I thought you were ready to yay.
I'm not a yayer. You know that.
You're not. Okay, well, welcome to Slice of Disney, an awesome Disney theme park YouTube video and podcast.
That's right.
I got it right this time.
You did. I was excited for it. YouTube channel. We're now on YouTube. We have our podcast, Slice of Disney. You would know you're on YouTube because you're probably watching us there.
That's where we are. That's what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So, to get you up to date, right now it's Valentine's Day. So we recorded the second part of Hall of Presidents today.
We did, because tomorrow is President's Day.
Yay!
Yeah.
And we thought it would just be really fun to kind of debrief a little, talk about it. Our goal with doing the YouTube was that, to like kind of break down what we get to talk about a little bit and just kind of have like a free-flowing conversation.
Yeah, just do like a little bit more digestible, because I know podcasts can be a big ask for someone to get into. Yeah, check it out. Maybe it seems kind of interesting to you and you go check out the episode. Or if you just, want to get the quick hitters, we'll have those here too. So yeah, this was part 2. So Hall of Presidents, we recorded probably almost 3 hours total around this attraction, with part 1 and part 2. So there was a lot there. Ultimately, what's your takeaway? What were you thinking about it before you recorded, and how do you feel about it now?
So honestly, it's an attraction I don't really care about.
Yeah, right.
So when we decided to do it, we're like, around the inauguration, it'll be fun, or like President's Day, we wanted to do something that kind of goes aligned with whatever holidays are going on. And I was like, oh, this will be a quick one. And I started to get into it, and I was so fascinated. And suddenly I'm 10 pages deep in notes. And I call Will, and I was like, Will, this is amazing. Like, this is so interesting, and so much work went into this. It's no Haunted Mansion, you know what I mean? But it's a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have this new love for it, but I don't think I have love for the attraction. I have love for the amount of work that went into it. And I understand, if you listen to us, we kind of break it down and we talk about it. We talk about its future. And I think for me, I love what it did, and I love what it spoke for in the 70s. But time changes very quickly. And I think where we're at now, it doesn't hold up. But I think the message is good. And I think if you just revamped it and gave it some kind of Hamilton love, you really could do something great.
Sure. Yeah, you said the key word there, I'm sure, for many people. But no, I agree with you. I feel like the thing that was most interesting is the amount of work and attention to detail that went into it. And I like the idea that in this world of fantasy, in this world of Disney World, full of fantasy and cartoons and superheroes, that there is this little section that is dedicated to reality, whether it is the United States or something else. That part being important is cool to have in there too. And so I agree with you. I do think it's kind of served. It's done its tour of duty. And I do think that it's maybe not the most relevant thing anymore. And while the effort and appreciation, while the appreciation of the effort that went into developing this is still very strong, if no one's going to go to it, then I think it probably makes sense to take the spirit of it, which was an appreciation for American history, and find a way to get it to a spot where people will want to go see it.
Well, nobody sees it. It's still crowded.
Right.
But every attraction is crowded. Where I feel with Disneyland, you do have certain attractions that kind of just, are pretty much always going to be empty. I think at Disney World, everything is crowded.
Mm.
Because if I'm a tourist, which I am, I don't live there, but I feel like a little bit more of a local because I go a lot. But if this is my one big trip for the next 10 years, I am going to want to fill every moment. And so I don't know, it's just always more crowded. Like,
one of the things that we talked about is that, like, if they do make it a big change to it, it will become a focal point where people will want to go to it.
I agree.
But we don't really know what that's going to be looking like yet. So just to get back to sort of Hall of Presidents as a whole, in your research and kind of in our discussions, what is there something that's like what's a cool fun fact that people can get in the podcast if they check it out, or that you found that surprised you? And I do wonder if you're going to say the same one that I'm thinking of.
I wonder too. This one, I mean, what's coming to my head right now is a surprise, but not a surprise.
Hmm.
It's how much detail, which should not surprise me because it's Disney. But at the same time, I'm like, literally, they made sure that each stitching on the clothing of that president was time appropriate to when they were president. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's it's very intense to be era appropriate to that level. And I will I'll also say I didn't really think about this until in between recording and then just getting on this, so it's not on the podcast. But while they do pay a ton of attention to detail and try to recreate their looks and their movements and the clothes that they're wearing to be as accurate as possible, Donald Trump doesn't look like Donald Trump. And like and even Obama doesn't look that much like Obama. Like from the facial, maybe their mannerisms do, but like I'm not going to confuse them for the people that they actually are.
Okay, but then I feel a little bad because are we saying like Valerie? So just so everyone knows, there's this guy named Blaine Gibson, and he sculpted every single president until we got to Obama because he was 90 at the time. So he let his like intern apprentice, his protege, come in and take over. Her name was Valerie, and she did Obama and Trump. So basically, you're saying she's bad?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that those two sculptures do not look like the president. In fact, I'm going to look up Bill Clinton because I didn't do it real quick. And let's see. He doesn't look super like Bill Clinton either. So I'm just saying, like,
But maybe it's because, so if you listen to today's episode, we talked about the fact that like one of the struggles that they thought of when they had when Michael Eisner had the idea of we're going to have the current sitting president speak and give a speech. We can see them on television. We can see them every day. How do we make this so believable that people will still be interested in seeing them? Maybe you're proving the point that it's really hard. And
yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, I do think it is, because when I Google Hall of Presidents, Bill Clinton, I get like 2 pictures of his animatronic and like a bunch of pictures of him. And so I'm more easily able to tell the differences between them. So yeah, that's probably a good part of it.
so yeah, that's my thoughts. Okay, what was your favorite thing?
Okay, well, I don't know if it probably is my favorite thing. This is like the thing that I would most likely bring up in casual conversation with someone. And it is the thing we talked about in part one. But since we haven't covered on the YouTube channel, then I think it's fair game to bring up here. It is the fact that in this Liberty Square, the town, outside of it in the street, there is a brown streak down the middle of the street to represent the fact that they did not have working sewage back in the day, and they just threw their sewage into the street. And so that's what that is supposed to be. So to be era accurate, there is that streak and attention to detail there, and also no bathrooms because of it. And so that's a weird thing, and I feel like that's one of those things that you can tell people, and they will find it very funny and I won't say endearing, but I will say weird.
I think it's more the actual history itself was
Hmm.
told in a way where I want to know more.
Yeah,
Like Hamilton.
yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's where you're like Disney excels with the educational part. It's like, oh, this was told to me in a way I want to know more about this.
Yeah, I think that is a thing that they do very well, and a thing that hopefully they will stick with, a concept that they will hopefully keep core to whatever attraction comes next, or
Yeah,
whatever evolution they do of Hall of Presidents next.
I hope so. I hope so. It was really fun though. I had a good time with all presidents.
Yeah, me too. I think the episodes both turned out to be really great. So if you have any interest in learning more about the sewage that's in the middle of the streets, I suggest checking them out.
Yeah. Let us know what your thoughts are. Also, if you have a favorite president, please tell me. Will, do you have
Yeah,
a favorite
just
president? Do you have one?
do I have a favorite president? Ooh, I don't really. My favorite president that I have in my head is JFK. And not for a lot of reasons other than I did go to his presidential museum and I enjoyed it. And it was kind of a cool era to be studying and to be learning about in there. And so I don't, I don't have a power rankings of favorite presidents, but I did enjoy that aspect.
Oh, I get that.
Hmm. What about you? George Washington? You can't say George Washington.
What? That's no, but that is mine.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just because it's your last name.
It is not because it's my last name.
Seems like it
Also,
probably is, though.
Will, my entire life I was told I'm related to George Washington. My entire life.
Yeah.
A close family friend is really, really into family lineage and doing all this kind of stuff. And so he did it for us. And turns out, one, not related to George Washington at all. I know. Our family was like really poor in the middle of Texas. I'm like, okay, cool. That's not the same. Uh, and
Makes you
technically,
a little more endearing, actually.
the one thing that was crazy to me is that, yes, we are related to a George Washington. It's my great great grandfather.
Yeah.
His name was George Washington. I was like, is this what you guys were trying to tell me my whole life?
Yeah. If you ever get married and decide to start a family, decide to have a kid, you should keep your last name and name him George, just so that in like 200 more years, someone else can be like, yeah, George Washington, my great great grandfather.
uh, what a mess. But yes, I do love George Washington. I love our founding father. I think there's a lot of idealisms in him that kind of remind me as more we've gotten to research Walt. Just like wanting the best, like being truly believing that like we can have an impact on the world.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what. And that on that note, happy Valentine's Day. Yay.
Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you have a great time.
Happy Valentine's Day. Spread lots of love. Also, in spreading love, the 25th of this month is End It Movement Day. You wear a big red X on your hand to symbolize the ending of modern day slavery. And if those of you who listen to Slice of Disney didn't know, I'm a big freedom fighter. I'm trying to be a voice against human trafficking. So if you remember, write it down right now, the 25th, put a big red X on your hands so people ask you questions and you can start the conversation.
That's a good movement. I like it. I'll put one on my hand.
Yay. Okay, well, that was fun.
Yeah. If you enjoyed it, make sure to smash that subscribe button, so you can get updates to our latest episodes. We'll probably be doing stuff like this, little kind of quick hitters about the podcast we released, but then other like Disney news updates. We'll talk about that kind of stuff too. Feel free to leave some comments, let us know what you think, and stay safe out there in the 9 inches of cold snow that's coming to Kentucky.
Stay happy and healthy, and give a big hug to yourself today. That's what I keep thinking. Everybody needs to give themselves a big hug. So make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Slice of Disney, and Twitter at slice_of_Disney.
And check us out wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yay! Okay, we'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.